Assalamu alaikum people. Hope you are doing good. Things are smooth and streamlined with you. I expect that you all are fine and you are taking the necessary instructions in this pandemic to scare yourselves. And also you know that this is a very trying times, but we should try to learn with it. We should try to keep ourselves motivated to go through it. Anyway, it has been long time that I have not delivered any lecture for you. Today I have decided that I will make a video lecture for one of the topics. It is JK. It is in your syllabus of jkssb examinations. The topic which we are going to discuss in today's video lecture is about the matrices and determinants. These are the two topics. First of all, we will discuss the matrices and later we will do the determinants. It is mentioned in your syllabus. So let us start. What is the matrix? First of all, what is matrix? And the plural of matrix is matrices. Suppose I will give an example. Suppose a person say we have a sham. Suppose sham. A person we have a sham. If we assume that, let us suppose that he has a 15 notebooks. 15 notebooks. Sham has 15 notebooks. We will learn the matrix from the very basic to high level, and which we will discuss the necessary information which are supposed to be asked in the upcoming examination. So I hope you will follow these video lectures, and still if you have any suggestion or any doubt or whatever may be the case, please let me know. That it will motivate me to upload more and more video lectures. Suppose Sham has 15 notebooks. So for our convenient, we keep this information 15 in the brackets basis. But here we have to keep in our mind that this 15, it represents what? It represents notebooks. So precisely this information, Sham has 15 notebooks, we keep is in a brackets and write it. We wrote it here in 15 in the brackets, but in our mind we have remembered that this 50 represents what? It represents notebook. Suppose again, if we say that now Sham has 50 notebooks and 6 pens. Sham has 15 notebooks and 6 pens. 6 pens. So this is a very, if you look upon this statement, it seems a very big statement, but in order to make it a precise, we keep this information 15 sages. But in our mind we remember one thing, that this 15 represents we understand it that this 50 represents notebook, 6 represent pen. This is this information we keep in our mind, and this is the precise representation of this statement. Now let us suppose that we can express in this way any information. Suppose that we have another person, say, let us suppose that Ravi, and it has suppose 15 notebooks and 6 pens. Suppose we will use the different figure here. Suppose we have Ravi, he has 10 notebooks and 2 pens, and another person, say Tom, whatever may be the, he has 13 notebooks and 5 pens. So let us keep this information in a one row. So in a one go, we will write, first of all we have Sham has what? 15 notebooks and 6 pens. 15 notebooks and 6 pens. Later we have another person, say Ravi. Ravi has 10 notebooks and 2 pens. We have another person, say Tom. Tom has 13 notebooks and 5 pens. This is the information we have here written it in a combined information of the 3 persons. We have keep it in a simultaneously, we have keep it in a one notation, one picture, we can say. So in order to, suppose we are trying to keep this information as precise as possible or as we please. So we will write it. Have a look how we can write this. We will write here Sham. Here we will write Ravi. Here we will write another is Tom. Have a look. So we have 2 here items. If you look here, 2 things here, notebooks and pens. We will write it here notebook, and we will write here pens. So Sham has how many notebooks? Sham has 15 notebooks. How many pens? 6 pens. Ravi has how many notebooks? Ravi has 10 notebooks. How many pens? He has 2 pens. Tom has how many notebooks? 13 notebooks. And how many pens? 5 pens. So if you look, we get a rectangular arrangement of the things. If you clearly look, we get a rectangular arrangement of the things. So we will try to keep this in a long bracket form. You'll have a look. We will write 15, 10, 13, 15, 10, 13, 6, 2 and 5. So for our convenience, we have already noted that this 15, 10, 13, this represents notebooks, and 6, 2, 5, this represents pens. This is for Sham, this is for Ravi, this is for Tom. So this row, this is called the first row. Similarly, this will be called a second row, and this we will call the third row. This is called column. These verticals, this is called first column, and this is called second column. This is called second column. Is it necessary that is there only one way, this way, I mean, that we can put this information in this form? Not at all. You may write, we can write, suppose we will do one thing. We will keep notebooks on one side, and pens on one side. Have a look. I will show you how we will write. Suppose now what we will do, we will keep friends here, Sham, Ravi and Tom. Here Sham has how many notebooks? 15. Here this represents notebook. Sham has how many pens? He has 6 pens. This represents pens. 15, 6. 15, 6. It is the information of Sham. 15 notebooks, 6 pens. What about the Ravi? 10, 2. 10 notebooks, 2 pens. What about the Tom? 13 notebooks, 5 pens. So this is another form. Let us keep this information in a tabular form. We get 15, 10, 13, 6, 2, 5. So this is called the first column. This is called the second column. This is called the third column. This is called the first row, second row. In first case, what we did, we got only 2 columns and 3 rows. And in the second, we got 3 columns, 2 rows. We can arrange any things in this way. And I will give you common example. Let us say this was all about the example which I am trying to show you about the things. Suppose if you look in the class, we have students randomly we can say oriented. Suppose this is student A1, S1, let us name it S1, S2, S3, S4. These students are scattered. S5, S6. So we want to try give them a definite alignment. So what will we do? We will do S1, S2, S3, S4, S4, S5, S6. If you look, when you see that we try to align students in a lines, different lines, so a beautiful arrangement is formed. Also, this is also possible. We will give S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6. This is another arrangement. So this type of arrangement in which we get rows and columns, this is nothing. This is the matrix, definition of a matrix. So actually we said it is the rectangular arrangement, which I was trying to make you understand how we can keep the arrangement in a different way. So this is nothing. This is known as the matrix. So matrix is what? Matrix is a rectangular arrangement of things or functions or numbers. So we will write the definition of this matrix. So these all are we form here the matrices. What we did, we give a definite alignment to any information, to any numbers, to any number of students, whatever may be the case. This definite arrangement, rectangular arrangement, actually we call it we call this rectangular arrangement in which we got a rows, we got a columns. This arrangement is known as the matrix. So we will define the matrix now. What is the matrix? Matrix is a rectangular or a ordered, we can say ordered rectangular array of or arrangement of numbers or functions. You here just remember numbers, you are not required to go through the function. Array of numbers, let's write it functions or also or functions rectangular array of numbers or functions. So these numbers or functions, these are called what? Here have a look, these are called the element of matrix. This is element 1, element 2, this is the element. These are all called the what? Element of the matrix. The numbers or functions is called arrangement, is called the elements of matrix. So I hope you will get the definition of the matrix. Matrix is what? Any rectangular arrangement of the numbers. So any rectangular arrangement of numbers or functions is known as the matrix. The numbers or elements, numbers or functions are known as what? Elements of matrix. Suppose, and usually we denote this matrix by capital letters. Suppose A, this is a matrix. We will give the arrangement to a number. Suppose 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. This is a matrix. Arrangement of numbers in which we have rows, we have columns. We have here how many rows? Have 3 rows. How many columns? 2 columns. Again, suppose B matrix is another. B is another matrix, and we keep the matrix in a long brackets known as braces. This is the notation of a matrix. Remember this. You have to keep the matrix. Sometimes we also represent a matrix by this bracket also. There is no harm in that. So let us suppose that B is another matrix. We will keep it 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 5. This is another matrix. Here we have how many rows? The row 1, row 2. How many columns? Column 1, column 2, column 3. Again, suppose C is another. Suppose we will get it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So how many rows? Row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1, column 2, column 3. So what is matrix? Matrix is nothing. It is the arrangement of numbers, arrangement of we can say things also in a definite order, in a rows and columns. The arrangement so formed by aligning, by giving a definite order to things or numbers is known as the matrix. So I hope you will get the definition of the matrix. And let us move forward. We will do one more thing here. Order of a matrix. We will define order is very simple. Order of a matrix is defined by simply the number of columns and number of rows and number of columns. So order of a matrix is m rows and n columns, we can say. Suppose I will give you an example: 3 2 4 1 2 3, and let it be. How many rows are here? It is 1 2. How many columns? 1 2 3. So we write it here in the suffix, on the suffix 2, and it is read as 2 by 3 matrix. What this 2 represents? It represents 2 rows and 3 columns. And remember one thing, that while giving the order to any matrix, you have to count the rows first. 2 by 3 matrix is different from 3 by 2. It means 2 rows 3 columns. It means 3 rows 2 columns. Remember this. While giving order to any matrix, one thing you have to keep in your mind, that the rows and columns, first of all you have to count the rows and you have to count the columns. Suppose we have to give the another example, 3 by 2. What does this mean? We have to keep the 3 rows and 2 columns. Say 1 2 3 4 5 6. Suppose 3 rows, 4 5 and 9 10. How many rows? 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. How many columns? 1 column, 2 column. So we will write it 3 by 2 matrix. So can you tell me what is the order of this matrix? What is the order of this matrix? It is how many rows? It is 3 rows. How many columns? 3 columns. So we will write it 3 by 3 matrix. So order of matrix is what? Order of matrix is number of columns, number of rows and number of columns. And remember, if we have m rows and n columns, it is not equal to n by m. What does it mean? It means n rows and m columns. And one thing you have to remember, while giving the order to any matrix, you have to keep one thing in your mind, that order, that you have to count the rows first to give the any matrix an order. Suppose, can you tell me what is the order of this matrix? What is the order of matrix? So first of all, we will count rows. 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. It is 3. How many columns? 1 column, 2 column. 3 by 2. Let's construct a 2 by 3 matrix. So 2 by 3 matrix is how many rows? 2 rows. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. And how many columns? We have to keep the 3 columns. 5 6. So it is how many rows? 1 row, 2 row. How many columns? 1 column, 2 column, 3 columns. So this matrix is 2 by 3. So I hope you will get the definition as well as order of the matrix. So remember one thing, while giving an order to a matrix, keep the count the number of rows first and number of columns then, and you have to read it. It is 3 by 2 matrix. It is 2 by 3 matrix, and always rows are written first, columns are written later. So this was all about in today's video lecture. I hope you will get the definition of the matrix. You have understood it very well. You will understand it very well. And order of the matrix, I hope you will get this also. In the next video lecture, I hope inshallah I will do come up with more interesting lectures on the matrices. I hope you will enjoy this video lecture. If you have any difficulty, if you have any suggestion in these videos, please let me know. That it will motivate me to upload more and more. It will encourage me to come up with some good video lectures, some interesting video lectures. So I hope you will get a benefit from this video lecture. Thank you, class.